Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your April reading. The energy in April begins very chaotically, and the Carpe Diem t-shirt is kind of perfect for all of this Aries energy that's in your 10th house. The new moon will be conjunct Chiron and Mercury in your 10th house. And the 10th house is the most public house there is. It's the public. It's your responsibilities. It's taking accountability. It's your career, your public life, how you present yourself really out to the world. And there's a lot that comes along with that, which is like your reputation and how other people perceive you. And that Aries energy is the perception of I am, right? And so, whatever Aries is ready to do, Aries is going to do. And that's exactly where the sun is for you during April, the beginning of April. Now, the other things that are happening, we have Mars and Saturn conjunct that same week, just a couple of days after that new moon, and it's creating chaos. That's all in Aquarius. And so because Aquarius is detached, there's this air of not really caring whether we hurt people's feelings or not. There just seems to be sort of this trend that's happening where people will just sort of just say things and they don't really care whether they're hurting anybody in the process. But you guys are on track to really have so many opportunities coming your way and a lot of manifestation power. If you are able to keep yourself grounded, if you're really able to keep yourself honest, taking accountability for the things that you really have to pay attention to, and you know what those things are. So let's kind of see what the cards have for you. Wow. All right. Let's see what was hiding first. Your entire reading just sort of fell out. There's a whole bunch for us to talk about here. And the funny thing is like, as I was getting ready to do your reading, I was really scattered and I'm like, wait, that's not right. Okay. So now I got to go over here and wait. No. And yeah, having all of this fire energy, having all of this air energy going on, there's not a lot of water until Venus and Mars move into Pisces, which is going to be like the second week in April. And then we'll have a little bit of grounding when Mercury moves into Taurus on the 10th of April too. But in the meantime, it's just chaos and confusion and really fast pace and everything happening all at once. Oh yeah. Wow. Okay. So the first four cards we're going to look at are the 10 of Swords. This is the energy that you have coming into April. And the 6 of Swords. And the 8 of Pentacles. And the Page of Wands. Okay. I even had like Palo Santo burning. We started the reading. I don't know if you noticed that. So the way things ended or the way things are ending, it's painful. It doesn't feel really good, but those painful moments are actually moving you. It had to happen. It had to show you this is not where you're supposed to be. This is not an easy feeling to be in. This is not an easy flow to be in. This is not going to resonate with the energy in your journey moving forward. You had to be aware of it And those moments, they have to be painful sometimes. And I think that we've talked about this before. They have to be painful because if they're not, then we're not going to learn the lesson. Then we're going to be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. I'll just try it again. Okay. So then the second time, and I'm really that person that used to do things like that. Like I would give all the opportunities and all the people and all the situations and everything, like so many chances. So here we are. 10 of Swords into the 6 of Swords. The extremely painful ending is moving you into a better place. And I don't know if that's easier for you to hear, with me kind of like patting it, with it's moving you into a better place. 8 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Now, here's the thing though, is this ending, because the 10 of Swords is also a very anticipatory type of energy. The 10 of Swords can often represent our fears, like going to the worst possible case scenario, right? And so you could be thinking like, if I try and get myself out of this situation, this is going to happen, and 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 this, and you've like already written this entire story in your head about how all of those things could be happening to you. And the reality of it is the situation hasn't even happened yet. And if you were to just allow yourself to let it unfold naturally and just keep doing the work that you're doing and let the conversation happen naturally, then that's fine. But the ending, whether it happens and it's really, really painful, or whether it happens and it's not as painful as you thought it was going to be, and you're just kind of like, either way, it's bringing you into an easier time. It's that 6 of Swords is taking you from rough waters into calmer waters. The 8 of Pentacles is about really paying attention to the present moment and what we're doing here and the things that we're doing here. And the Page of Wands really makes me feel like that's where you're going to get your answers. That's where you're going to get your information. If you stay steadfast in what you're doing right now, I feel like it'll be so much easier for you to have these conversations instead of freaking out about how it's going to look and what it's going to look like. Okay. The other ones that just sort of plopped out, we have 4 more cards. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Hierophant. And then we have the 3 of Cups. Whew. And then we have the 7 of Cups. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. So that very painful ending that's bringing you from rough waters into calmer waters. And man, it just feels like it's sort of just dragging you across that finish line really, really difficultly. This is creating change. And it's because you stayed the course, right? This 8 of Pentacles is really about just putting your head down and getting it done and being patient and waiting for the messages to come to you. So now we're down here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Hierophant. This may have something to do. This is a very Jupiterian energy that's happening, but it may have everything to do with the Taurus North Node or the solar eclipse that's happening on the 30th in Taurus. So wherever Taurus is in, that's going to be in your, wow, the 11th house. Thank you very much. Wow. That's going to be really changing and shifting. So there's this massive directional pivot that's happening. And even though it feels really, really confusing, and even though there's a lot of pieces to it, and even though there's a lot of things that are going on, It's just a celebration. Now you could be dealing with the Taurus energy. You could also be, this is like a leveling up. When we get the Hierophant, it's like a spiritual level up, basically, energy. Sometimes it's having to, because it can represent societal standards, and you having to pivot outside of societal standards in order to be free of certain restrictions that you have chosen. I mean, like, honestly, we're the ones that choose the structures in our lives based on what we know. And sometimes their choices, we have two really terrible choices to make in life, and that's all we get sometimes. But in this case, the things that you've been doing and the way that you've been moving and the direction that you've been headed in is all moving in a really positive direction. And the 3 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, there's going to be lots of celebrations going on. And really coming together with like-minded individuals. That's very 11th house stuff. So yeah, that solar eclipse on the 30th is going to show you who's in your corner, what communities are really here for you, and what communities are just a big old mask pretending that they're going to, push you along for support, but they're really just up there for clout. Trust me, there are some of those out there. So all right, guys, I'm really excited to look at your extended. We're going to get further into the astrology and clarify all of this and see how much more information we can get about this really big shift, because you're definitely moving away from a super difficult time in your life. And even if it still feels difficult right now, it's coming to an end. There's going to be an ending to whatever cycle, and it's much closer than you think it is too. So I'll see you in the extended. Bye.